I don't care how your brother got in the ceiling duct. I want him down. Okay? Jeez. Hey, we were playing Die Hard at our house.
Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Matches. Let me ask you something, Matches. Do you like movie trailers?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's sometimes the best part of, like, going to the movie.
That is the best part of going to the movie. I have had relationships crumble because people were late meeting me at the movies and we missed the trailer. Kid you not, there was a girl I was dating. I mean, I didn't know if I was really into her that really, but I knew I wasn't when she was late to a movie and through the wall I could hear the trailer for Superman Returns, which turned out to be not that awesome, but...
And you turned out not to be dating either, so...
Do what now?
And you turned out not to be dating either.
That's true. In fact, she brought a boyfriend. It was very strange.
That's right.
She gave me the keys to her car.
I would have just gone and like found a seat. That's just what you do.
I know, because I like one of the reasons I was so excited to see. I think it was the Harry Potter movie at the time, and I was like, they're going to have the Superman trailer. I can't wait, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm hearing. Da, 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 da.
She's one of those people that gets there right when the movie starts.
Yeah. Oh, some people, yeah, they want to skip the trailers. In fact, I think there's
sometimes you're like, oh, I'm in an empty theater, and then the movie starts, and you're like, where did all these people come from?
There are people who don't care about the trailers, but to me, that's the best part. And it's Rockets too. Rocket does not want to miss the trailers.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I mean, they're so much better than the movie turns out to be sometimes.
Sometimes you spend 20 minutes going, you want to see that? You want to see that? I want to see that. You want to see that? I want to see that.
I don't want to see that one.
I don't want to. Yeah. Oh, I'll turn to Groot a lot and he'll be like, nah. Yeah, nah. Well, speaking of trailers, what's a trailer that stands out to you, like that you've seen over your few years of being on this earth?
Oh, that's a toughie. Let me think.
Could be better in the movie.
Gosh, some of the best movies that I saw, like the most fun, and the Matrix or Fight Club, didn't have great trailers to me.
Okay.
Like the movies were so good, but you couldn't even tell what they were about.
Right.
You know,
they didn't.
And had someone come to me, a guy friend, and was like, "You got to go see Fight Club. It's awesome." And I was like, "A bunch of shirtless guys fighting in the okay, try it. I don't I trust your opinion."
I mean, I hear Meatloaf's in it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, trailers for like In-Game or something like that were exciting. I think people were screaming and clapping and things like that. I've seen like the original Superman trailer that they filmed. I guess it was in a theater in Hollywood or something, and it came on the screen, and people were screaming and clapping and cheering.
You talking about "You Will Believe a Man Can Fly"?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's exciting to me. Stuff like that is great. Yeah,
Batman, I agree.
Tim Burton's Batman probably.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
What about you? Yeah,
well, I mean, there's lots of trailers that stand out to me. I don't know if I have a favorite, but like, I love the trailer. Sometimes I love trailers that don't show a clip at all and just maybe have the character doing something, you know? Be like, hey, coming soon, more film, you know? That kind of thing. It is hard for trailers not to show the whole movie because my wife has a theory that she hates trailers because they show too much of the movie. And sometimes...
They do nowadays.
Sometimes she's right. But one trailer that stands out to me, I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but one trailer is from this low-budget French international film that hardly played here. I believe it was called Jason X. I think it's the one where Jason Voorhees becomes a Muslim and leads a movement. Jason X, was I wrong?
No.
The X stands
a different one.
For 10. The X stands for 10.
Yeah.
Do you remember this trailer for Jason in Space pretty much?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, here's the thing that stands out to me. The trailer was fun, and the movie was fun. I ain't gonna lie. The movie was fun. I showed it to Groot on the TV version, and he was like, this is great, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he quoted Martin Scorsese. This is cinema.
This is cinema.
But the trailer is so funny because, of course, it was 2002, right? And what song was real popular from 2001 to 2000-ish that I still hear in some trailers? Remember the Drowning Pool song?
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let
the bodies hit the floor, right?
Was that in that one?
So there's this trailer, right? And Jason is like throwing people against the wall and stabbing people. Like, let the bodies hit the floor, you know?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, how cool would it be? You could have any trailer and have that in it and make it sound cool. Like, for instance, okay, like, she was a business lady who had no time for love. I've got no Time for Love. He was a small town mayor / carpenter / woodworker / soap lover. And yet, somehow, their destinies entwine in a wonderful world of love and caring. Let the bodies hit the flow. Let the bodies hit the flow. Let the bodies hit the flow.
Yep.
I think more trailers need to have that song in it, right?
You could elevate many trailers.
Starring Dame Maggie Smith. Let the bodies hit the flow. Let the bodies hit the flow.
She's doing it.
I never heard Maggie Smith punching people. But speaking of bodies hitting the floor, tonight's movie, you see what I did there? You see the segue?
Yes.
You will, viewer, yes. Tonight's movie on this little show we do that's called NOMS!
NOMS podcast. Oh, yeah.
Let the movies hit the flow. Let the movies hit the flow. Why is it called NOMS, Mr. Matches?
Because we're nerding out, and we're Matches and Shannon.
That's right. I am Shannon, St. Sisyphus, and you are?
Matches Magoo.
I love it. I'm going to call you Matches Malone. That's what I'm going to call you. Ooh. That's right there, wise guy sucker.
It's nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Now, on this show, before we introduce the movie, in case this is your first time to listen to the podcast and you haven't stopped it yet, thank you. We appreciate that. Yes, we do. What do we do on this here little shoe there, Match? Here's this little fandango.
We talk about the movies and the reviews of a couple of favorite critic pals of ours, Siskel and Ebert.
That's right. Some sexy mother hubbards, Siskel and Ebert.
Rest in peace, you angels.
Oh my gosh, yes. Again, I think they're reviewing in heaven. You know, they're probably looking down at the world and they're like,
that's right.
What I want to see is more of a money pit situation. Can we do that?
Thumbs down.
Well, I'm going to give it thumbs up because I saw something that you did. Well, we must have seen a different world.
That's true. Yeah. Well, what are we doing this week, Shannon?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, we're doing
this tiny.
Oh, sorry. I talked over you. You said a movie that's tiny?
Cool. This tiny little film. This little.
Oh, yeah. This little well, I mean, it's not really an independent film, if that's what you mean. It's not a tiny film.
No, not really.
It's not a movie that may not be as well remembered by some people.
No, it's definitely not one of the Coen brothers' most remembered or known at the time. Because I saw the box at the movie corner, the little video movie corner
of the week.
And it looked boring. It looked like it would be boring to me. I didn't have any interest in it. I didn't know what it was, though,
And what movie do you speak of that we're doing tonight? We're doing that from 1994. Joel, do you think Coen present?
Hudsucker Proxy.
The Hudsucker Proxy.
I know. That right. The Hudsucker Proxy.
Man, I hear that Tim Robbins is one bad Hudsuck.
Shut your mouth.
I'm just talking about the Hudsucker Proxy.
Okay.
Can you dig it? It is 1994's Coen Brothers extravaganza, The Hudsucker Proxy. And this was at a time when the Coen brothers were well known with critics and like hardcore film fans, but maybe not so much commercially. A little, right?
Yeah, little. Yeah.
Yeah, this was actually the first time they said they were able to cast big stars, which is funny because they had cast big stars before, but they were kind of on their way up, like Nicolas Cage. Mm-hmm. John Goodman had been in a few, that's the Coen brothers, in case you don't know them, the Coen brothers are one of the greatest filmmaking duos of all time, besides the Farrelly brothers. And I like the Farrelly brothers, yeah. But the Coen brothers, name out some of the Coen brothers classics.
Okay, well, you've got what we've mentioned recently. Didn't we mention Blood Simple recently?
Their very first film,
Blood Simple. Their first one, yep. I mean, then there's Raising Arizona, there's Barton Fink, and these are the early ones. Of course, they did the Big Lebowski. The Dude Abides, Big Lebowski, Big Lebowski. There's the only one I saw of theirs in the 2010s or so was Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah, I saw
it's one that just kind of ends, for me, like. No Country for Old Men. It just goes like, oh, where are we going with it? Oh, we're done. Okay.
What a pleasant journey we've just had.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac and a bunch of people in it. Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. It's about a folk singer, right?
It is, yeah. It's pretty good, yeah.
The Coen brothers are, they were a duo. They were a filmmaking duo that I pretty much put aside in the 90s and, and just kind of said, oh, they're not for me. They're snobby critic things. And then I saw The Big Lebowski, and I enjoyed the heck out of it.
But we got to mention Fargo and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Well, I figured you would mention Fargo.
Sure. Yeah,
Fargo was probably the movie that put them way over the top. You know, they had already been Oscar nominated, I think, for other movies, and because Barton Fink, was it nominated for Best Picture in 1992? 1991's Barton Fink.
It was nominated for something. Wasn't
it got a whole lot of like recognition.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah,
Michael Lerner was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and if you don't know who that is, he's in Elf. He's the big guy. He's in a lot of things. He's a big guy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we talked about him. Yeah. Yeah, no, they've done some great movies, and like this movie, to me, the Coen Brothers, they have two types of movies. Okay, they have their big, well-loved or big award-winning movies like Fargo, and then you got like True Grit, the remake of True Grit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you love that movie. I do. My dad actually loved it.
I haven't seen it, actually.
Oh,
so
it is very good. And I think you could put that and the John Wayne one like side by side. I don't know how different they are.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
It's very good. It's very good.
Yeah, I heard it was good, but I never saw it.
So they got their big movies like that, like Barton Fink, and then they've got their movies that they make sometimes, and No Country for Old Men. But then they've got like their movies that they make, and I don't know if Big Lebowski would be in this collection, but that are kind of oddball fun that they seem to make just for fun, like Burn After Reading.
They're kind of like these are set up like Tall Tales a little bit.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona was. I think this movie is. It's kind of like it's a real story. They give you It
is definitely Raising Arizona was kind of like a fairy tale in a way.
Yeah, it was a tall tale kind of a thing, I guess. Yeah,
you had Nicolas Cage with a panty on his head.
Yeah.
John Goodman and the crazy biker.
Did some real quirky stuff, I think.
Yes, the Coen Brothers are known for a lot of their movies, like quirky characters. Something fantastic happening that shouldn't be happening. A little bit of fantasy elements in some of their films.
Yeah.
And in this movie, The Hudsucker Proxy, it's no different. This movie, and I think you'd agree with me when I say this, it's I guess you could call it a throwback. It's their version of like classic Hollywood films from the 40s and 50s, like screwball comedies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
This is their
screwball comedy. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. And I felt like the music in this movie was fantastic. It was so good.
Yes.
Did you notice? Like, I was like, wow, this soundtrack is even better than the movie.
And the pedigree in this movie. So this is something I just found out recently, that the Coen Brothers and one of my favorite writer-directors, Sam Raimi, are intertwined.
They're the ones who wrote this. Ethan directed.
Sam Raimi co-wrote it.
Ethan and Joel wrote it. And, it also stars a little bit of co-stars Bruce Campbell. So
what might be a frequent Sam Raimi collaborator. Turns out Bruce Campbell's been in more Coen Brothers movies than I knew. Usually in tiny roles, like in the background, like on TV.
Oh, okay.
And apparently he wasn't in Blood Simple, but they made I guess you could say like an exhibition trailer to show investors and producers. And Bruce Campbell starred as one of the main characters in the trailer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because either Joel or Ethan had been like a assistant editor on The Evil Dead, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are very intertwined. They lived with Sam Raimi at one time.
Yeah. I know a lot of these stars lived together at some time. Bruce Campbell, I remember in his book talking about Holly Hunter stayed on his couch or something for a little while. Yeah. And she was going out for, I guess she was going out for an, what do you call them when they try out?
An audition?
An audition, yeah. She's going for an audition. He's like, "You look really nice." And he goes, "I'm dressed like a hooker. It's for an audition." And she just walks out the door.
You look really nice. Are we going out tonight? Are you going to have a little fun?
She was not pleased with that.
That is so funny. I bet she's like, "He thinks I look good as a hooker."
Yeah, all those people. It's really cool to me that all those people knew each other and grew up around each other doing this.
Wait, we have to say that like Holly Hunter. I'm going out tonight. Shut up.
Yeah.
She is a tiny woman, by the way.
I've always loved her. Yeah.
She is so small. It wasn't until we saw the show Mr. Mayor with Ted Danson.
Oh, yeah.
That made my wife realize.
Ted Danson's also very tall, too. So
True. But she was very pocket-sized, and they did capitalize on that show.
Oh, okay. True.
Also, another Sam Raimi connection. I didn't know this. The Coen Brothers wrote one of his early films called Crime Wave, and I don't know if you've seen it, but come to think of it, now that I'm thinking about it, the script is very, very Coen-y. It's very wacky and quirky, but I don't think it's a great movie, and I think Sam Raimi can make bad movies sometimes too. It's a little too cartoony, a little too over the top.
Okay.
But it is very Coen-esque. Yeah. Bruce Campbell plays a small part as, I kid you not, this is his character's name, Ronaldo the Heel.
Okay, I get it. That works for him. Yeah.
But he has a nice part in this movie as a reporter. And so this movie, like I said, is kind of a throwback to those old Howard Hawks, Frank Capra films. And
fast talking, fast moving.
Fast talking. Everyone talks like this. So like, give it to me now. Guys, cut, Johnny. Yeah, it's great.
It said around 1958, I think is what it says.
Yes, that's when it starts. Yes. And like we said, it's got, it's a bit, what would you call it? Like a fairy tale, tall tale, or?
Yes, either one works, I think. Yeah, it's set up like, the whole story's set up like a tall tale. So, I mean, there's no Babe the Big Blue Ox or whatever, but,
Yeah, basically it's a story of like a company that, what's that?
Definitely a farce, I would say.
Yeah. It's a story of like a young white-eyed man who just graduates from college, comes to the big city, and is immediately awarded the title of president of Hudsucker Industries. And
wait, let's go into the review.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to set that up. Okay. And it's going to be great. And now let's get ready for the review, because I want to know what Siskel Ebert talked about, because I will talk about this movie. Here we go.
There it is.
Can I get some gobstoppers? Can I get some hubcaps? What's a movie snack that you miss? Yeah.
That I missed, it's gone, or I just don't get it
anymore? I don't know. I don't know what's still there. I know they have cheeseburgers and nachos now, and beer and hot dogs and pizza.
They can do that stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
And let me see. Oh, I know. We were about to up north from me now get what do you call them? The Alamo Draft House.
Yeah.
Had bought our drive-in theater and was gonna literally just like gentrify this whole area and use the drive-through, plus have a building, plus make apartments and stores and stuff like that right there in that area, and it fell through.
Oh,
completely. They bought it and everything, and now it's for sale. So.
That seems to happen where I live. There's this big lot that would say like different things coming, like Harp's grocery store is coming.
Yeah.
Then all this other stuff is coming. And we're never going to get that Circuit City.
That, for sure. They had a big celebration for the last day of it, and they showed Cocaine Bear.
What an
at the drive-in theater, yeah.
What an appropriate film. Well, speaking of cocaine, I don't know. Hopefully there wasn't an ounce used on this film. But this is
it was the 90s.
Huh?
There's a lot of cocaine.
Probably. Yeah. Now, this is a movie, and we'll talk about your experience with it, that you and your brother loved, and I just avoided for 31 years. And it's not that I didn't want to see it. I just never thought to. And
I would have been the same way had our friend not, recommended it and watched it with us or made us watch it or whatever. I probably never would have seen it, just like you.
Yeah, didn't he say, like, you got to see this, you'll love it, it's great.
Yeah, just like that.
I mean, he did. He's like, it'll knock your socks off.
Kids.
It's for kids. But yeah, can I just say, though, before we get to Siskel Ebert, this movie begins so insane. And this movie's got great elements, like there's a narrator, you know? There's a little part where there's a Greek chorus. Remember in the diner scene? We could talk about that later.
Oh, that's right.
And this movie has some great actors in it. And a lot of them are gone. Like Charles Durning. Mm-hmm. The very wonderful Charles Durning is gone. Paul Newman is gone. Bill Cobbs. Not Cosby. Oh, yeah. Bill Cobbs, Yep. He was a great addition in everything he was in. He was in Night at the Museum. Do you remember that with Dick Van Dyke?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he was part of the janitor crew. Yeah. But yeah, he's the narrator. And this movie opens with basically, I'll just go ahead and say it. Tim Robbins is he's on a ledge. Yep. And then it goes back a year, and Charles Durning is Hudsucker, the man who founded the company, right? Mm-hmm. And they read him all this positive stuff that's going on, and they're making lots of money, and they're doing great. And what does he do, Matches?
Well, he stands up on the desk, and he kind of positions himself.
Yeah, a very long table, by the way.
Yeah, it takes a minute. He's stretching a little bit, trying to get
the entire.
He jogs down the table and
with the entire board.
Yeah, and the entire board is seated at this long table, and he jumps off of it out the window.
Yeah,
and goes straight down
to the floor. As he's going, he's like telling people to move.
As this is Tim Robbins' first day, and he had just walked in the building when you hear splat. And I guess he missed that whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah, and some little like pancake round face woman who looks like a Cabbage Patch doll in real life is like, oh!
Oh, she was perfect for that.
She was.
To see the body and scream. Yeah.
And that's how the movie begins. So I want to know, what do you think Siskel Ebert thought about it before we even get into it? What do you think?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It is long. I would say it meanders a bit.
Okay.
For their taste.
Definitely.
I'm sure they love the Coen brothers. Maybe at this point, do they like the Coen brothers or do they not like the Coen brothers?
Oh, I bet they love the Coen brothers. I mean, I bet they love Blood Simple.
Well, if they do, they may not like this one because it's different. It's way different.
It is different. I mean,
you can, compare their body of work and say, yeah, that fits in there now, 30 years later. But
I mean, especially after Big Lebowski. But Raising Arizona was goofy. It had its serious moments. It's fantastic.
That's true.
Moments.
It's similar to that in a way.
Yeah.
I guess.
And then there was Miller's.
Different.
What? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying they're both set in different times, different types of people, but they are very similar. Yeah.
Right. Like Blood Simple was a straight up, I don't think it had any really humor in it. It was like a straight up like dark neo-noir, noir. Then you had Miller's Crossing, which was like kind of their Godfather. It was like about Irish gangsters in the 20s.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with Gabriel Byrne. Yeah. So, and then you had Barton Fink, which was, have you ever seen Barton Fink?
A long time ago. I don't remember much about it, though. It's good, though. It's got, John Turturro?
Yep. John Goodman?
Yep. Straight out. John Goodman.
Yeah. John Badman.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. Who else?
Did I say it right?
Yeah, John Turturro has been on our favorite that you haven't been watching, Severance.
I know he's on that show, as well as that bearded guy who usually has funny lines in tiny spurts in movies. He was in Shang-Chi. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. Zach Cherry. He was a YouTuber, I think, and he got popular and got to be in all these like cameos in little movies, and finally has this starring role. And he is so good. He is amazing in this.
That makes a lot of sense. You saying that? Yeah.
Funny. Yeah.
Yeah. They were probably fans of the Coens. Let me see. Was this the Coens' fifth movie? I'm trying to think. He had Blood Simple, Raising Arizona. Miller's Crossing. Yeah, Miller's Crossing, Barton Fink, and then...
Oh, wow.
Was there anything in between 91 and...
No. It's Barton Fink and then this one for sure. Yeah.
Well, there you go. 1994.
Okay. Unless we're missing one earlier, but I don't think we are.
Yeah, I thought we were too. But,
we probably are.
Well, without further ado, let's see what those two jackalopes Siskel Ebert thought of this here picture. Roll them, Johnny.
I'm down like Julie Brown.
Downtown Julie Brown. Wubba, wubba, wubba. There's a throwback. There were two Julie Browns on MTV at the same time. I just wanted to say that. Life is weird.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's sharing.
And they were for both tastes.
I think I'm doing this right. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And action.
Yeah, British and an American.
Give me a break. Coming up next, Paul Newman stars in an old-fashioned screwball comedy with the strange name, the Hudsucker Proxy.
The music plays, the wheel turns. And our spin ain't over yet. President and owner of 87% of the company's stock drops. And the company, too, has a problem. We need now the new president. Some jerk who can really push around.
That's Paul Newman as an executive out to use a seeming simpleton, Tim Robbins, as part of his plan to take over a company whose founder has just died in the Hudsucker Proxy. Comedy that's a throwback to the smart aleck pictures of Preston Sturges in the 40s. Paul Newman's ideal is to find a goofball to run the company, have him fail, and thus drive down the price of the stock to the point where Newman and his fellow directors can buy a controlling interest in the company. At first, Tim Robbins looks like just the man for the job, to do a bad job, that is, having just started a fire in Newman's office.
Out of the office!
He sounded like he enjoyed this one.
Yeah, he's starting to sound a little enthusiastic.
He does.
Do you love the way, speaking of sound, do you love the way that Paul Newman says most of his lines with a growl in this movie? But it's not over the top.
Yeah.
Everything is like,
he's got that vocal fry going on that the kids love these days. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little growl. It's like, hey, come over here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I didn't really buy Tim Robbins' little, what do you call this here?
Slapstick, little hapless Jerry Lewis, maybe.
Yeah, it was okay to me. It was a little, but maybe that awkwardness is really what fuels the scene, I guess.
Well, again, I can see why some viewers and some critics wouldn't like this movie because it is like, I mean, it's set in the 50s, but it's like you don't see movies like this anymore. Like they didn't even make them like this anymore in 1994. So a lot of people are like, what is this? You know, like if they just rented it or watched it in the theater, like, what the heck why are they acting like that? Why are they talking like that?
I thought the name to me just was like, oh, that sounds boring. Let's move on to the next one and never look at that again.
I just remember, like, I didn't see any trailers for it on TV, but I remember reading, like, I was reading a lot of magazines back then. Yeah. And I read a lot of reviews in Entertainment Weekly and Rolling Stone and People. And
that's how we, got in touch with the outside world before the internet. So
that's right. We read, kids, and we talked face to face. Am I right?
That's right.
No, you hang up.
All right, let's go.
Not that way, through the door.
That Robbins is such a rube is big news in the financial community of the town, and a fast-talking newspaper reporter, Jennifer Jason Leigh, writes a negative story about him, masquerading as his secretary in order to get inside information.
Well, you know me, Amy. At least better than this name. Doesn't he think I'm an imbecile?
Oh, well, I'm sure I...
Go on. Tell the truth. I trust you. I place a lot of stock in your opinion.
Well...
Oh, sure. You're biased. You're a fellow Munsian. But let me ask you a question. Would an imbecile come up with this?
That circle is no imbecile idea. What happens is that Robbins' character turns out to be some kind of genius. He's invented the hula hoop. Of course, Paul Newman and the other board members don't realize the hit the hula hoop is going to become.
Congratulations, kid. You've outdone yourself. You've reinvented the wheel. I'm going to recommend to the board that we proceed immediately and that the dingus be mass-produced with all deliberate speed. Although you realize, of course, as president, the ultimate decision is yours.
Oh, I'm for it.
The Hudsucker Proxy is the latest film from the often brilliant Coen brothers, Joel and Ethan Coen, who made Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, Barton Fink. Fine pictures, one and all. But here, their great visual talent ultimately is wasted on a story that doesn't have much heart. It exists to remind us of wiseacre movies of a half-century ago. And as great as it looks, and it looks great, and as funny as its setup is, there's no payoff in the Hudsucker Proxy. A close call, thumbs down from me.
Thumbs down for me, too. And, I'm going to say that even though I want to see this movie again, just to look at it.
Yes,
this
brilliant.
Is one of the best-looking movies I have ever seen. And the funny thing is,
the production designer is Dennis Gassner, who won an Academy Award for Bugsy and was nominated for Barton
so he
Fink.
should win another one for this.
Yes.
But the problem is, or maybe he shouldn't, because his sets upstage the characters. I kept looking at those wonderful boardrooms, the skyscrapers,
how about the
special
mail
effects,
room?
the mail room. Yes, everything about the picture is terrific. The costumes are great.
Yeah.
Although, oddly enough, this isn't a 1958 picture. Really, the look is more 1938, which is never dealt with. But apart from that, there was really no comic energy, no real suspense, no real chemistry, and nothing to really care about.
Okay. When we come back,
Oh, wow.
So they
That was
loved
shocking.
it? That is shocking. Full screen time.
Well, I can see what he's saying about like more 1938 than 1958, but it still works. It's fine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, well, I mean, Some Like It Hot was made in 1959, so at the time they were still making those, hey, look out there, funny screwball pictures.
It's true, yeah. But he's talking about more the look, not the way they were talking, so yeah, that's true.
You know, that's what, it's so funny. They're like, I'd see this again. Thumbs down.
Yeah.
That's
why. I mean, the music is great. The set is great, you know.
Yeah,
and
the acting is
the movie was fine. It was what it was supposed to be.
I mean, I think that's why the thumbs up, thumbs down is too absolute. That's why I like the star system, you know, like, or whatever, you know, like the 4 out of 5. That way you can be like,
well, in their own reviews, like they go into way more detail. It's way more brilliant because they had to come up with, you know, a formulaic thing for the show where he says a line, then the other says a line, and then, you know, they make it more entertaining for people. But you get into real nitty gritty and the real words and stuff that they use, and with their 3 or 4 stars reviews, you know, in the paper.
It's kind of like a newscaster, like shoots 3 hours of footage and then uses 30 seconds on the news.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
This is, or as you and I and your brother can attest, you film hours and hours as an extra, and they see your wristwatch.
There's nothing to show for it. No.
Nope. My wife keeps joking with me. She's like, "You weren't in year 1, the movie." I'm like, "We were in year 1." She goes, "No, honey, you literally weren't in it. No one can see you." She says, I believe you filmed.
I found myself in a crowd of 400 people only because I knew where I was standing, but it was a quick
Really?
blink.
Which scene? I'm going to have to pause it because as we were watching
it was at
on
the
the
end
big
of
screen.
the day when I walked by and saw Michael Cera and Jack Black playing guitars together.
Wow.
And he
was I there that
crooning.
day? Because I was just there for one day of filming.
Oh, goodness. Then were you there the first time I went or the second time I went? Do you know?
I guess if you only went 2 times, probably the second time. Because you were telling me how
were
much
you
our
there
friend...
when Christy was there?
I don't know. Who is Christy?
Oh, gosh. I can't remember. CH from school. She ended up being there, and I was like, oh, who is that pretty Middle Eastern looking lady with the thing on?
You mean our good friend from college that had a very, very, I would say, very visible cameo in the horrible yet awesome, because she was in a disaster movie? We were talking about that, CH?
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yes, she is a good friend of ours from college, and there's this parody movie. By the time parody movies had really just gotten out of gas, and it was from the people who brought you Epic Movie and Date Movie.
Superhero movie. And,
oh my gosh, just put a title on it.
They're so
movie.
bad.
This was the worst one. This movie, Disaster Movie, basically parodied every film that was going to come out that summer and hadn't yet. They just based it on all the trailers.
Oh, wow.
Like, for no reason, the Hulk shows up.
I
Iron Man
forgot she
shows
was
up.
in that, but she was
Yes.
great on set because they would be calling, we need 10 people and the extra 10 or whatever to go and do so-and-so.
Yeah.
So she'd be like, come here. So we'd get ahead of them and just kind of stroll like we weren't doing anything. And we did one of the first 2 of the 10 and then have sent 2 people away. I felt so bad. But she was so good at it.
Well,
so good at that.
I want to tell the audience, if you do happen to see Disaster Movie, fast forward to the scene where it has the Sex and the City girls. She is Charlotte. She's the Charlotte girl. Now, there's a dude playing Carrie, which is kind of funny. But the whole movie is awful. It's got Mad TV alumni and Tony Cox and not the good Mad TV alumni.
This is Disaster Movie?
Disaster Movie.
Okay. All right. I'm going to watch
Yeah,
it.
did you ever Disaster Movie? Because it was bad. Yeah, just watch that one part because I'm so proud of her. She said she was watching it with her husband and I think her husband's family, maybe her family. And the whole time she's watching it, she's like, I'm not in it that much, and then she's on screen like, woohoo! And then they're like, I think she was apologizing for the movie, how bad it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've never seen her in it, so I'll have to do that.
Yeah, she doesn't have a line, but she looks great. They probably saw her and be like, oh yeah, that's Charlotte from Sex and the City. Get over here.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. But it was cool. I met her that day on the set because I didn't recognize her at all. But she looked at me. I had long hair. They had a wig on me. I had a full beard or whatever, and people would look at me and go, "Oh my god!" Like the PAs were walking by, going, "Holy crap, that's Jesus!"
I know. I was like, Jesus is here.
He's literally here. Yeah, and she was like, "Matches?" And I looked for a minute. And I was like, "CH."
But back to the Coen Brothers presents Fat Beach. So back to the Coen Brothers.
Yes.
And the Hudsucker Proxy. Like I said, they don't make these kind of movies anymore. And I love the idea that Sam Raimi and the Coen Brothers, they were like, we're not going to make a parody of those movies. And we're not going to make a comment of those movies. We're going to make that movie.
Yeah.
We're going to make the fun screwball comedies that we loved growing up. And you know what's funny about the process? I don't know if you know this, but as they were writing it, the Coens would pace around the room of their apartment while the other one was on a typewriter. Remember that, kids? Click, 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 click. and when one of them would get stuck and stop moving and didn't have an idea, Sam Raimi would play a prank on them or do a little thing to keep them going. Like he'd throw a firecracker at their foot, or he'd rearrange the furniture so when Ethan would run around, he'd run into it, and he'd run up behind Joel and be like, booga, booga, booga.
Wow, that's crazy.
He literally kept them on their toes so they could keep writing and coming up with ideas.
Nice, yeah. I know they used to write themselves into corners, and then the other one would take over and try to get them out.
That's how they did it. Yeah, they would take turns on the typewriter. Isn't that great?
That's really great. Yeah.
Did you know they started on the script in 1981? That's how old the script was.
Yeah, they wanted Paul Newman to do that role, right? And he didn't want to do it.
Musburger, the evil CEO, the board CEO.
And so years and years, he turned him down. He said, I'll do that. Good luck, but I'm not going to do this. And then,
Really?
So it says they waited around 10 years for him to do it, but I doubt that's the full truth.
Well, they got serious about the script in '84 is when they kind of finished it, and this was in '94.
Yeah, I think that's about the time they approached him. I think.
And what's funny about Paul Newman is he had taken a break from movies. He had a 4-year gap at that time. And 94, and 94 was very good to him. Not only was he the villain, Musburger, in this movie, but he was also in a movie called Nobody's Fool with Bruce Willis. And
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I never saw it, but he was nominated for Best Actor for the movie. It was like a comedy drama.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so he had a really good 94.
Yeah,
and
true.
he was,
and I like this movie. I'm going to say with Siskel and Ebert giving it such thumbs down. I'm going to say they just didn't get it. They
didn't. I mean, like I need to watch it again. I don't love it, but I liked it, and I got what they were doing, and it was great because there was the fast talking. There was these great one-liners. Like I can't even remember all the great lines that were said. I remember one of them though when they were talking about how Hudsucker, he fell 44 floors, and one guy on the board would go 45, and another one would say, counting the mezzanine. And they would say that over and over again. They're like, wow, this is 45 floors of excitement, not counting the mezzanine, 44.
Oh my God.
And then remember when Tim Robbins goes into the mailroom when he starts off and the boss is telling him all these things like, do this and you'll be docked. And you'll be docked. And 50, 100 people are coming to him, shoving things in his hands. Get to the second floor or you're fired. Get this to the third floor. It needs to be ASAP. And he's
literally no way.
Yes. And then later in the movie, after he's made president, he calls down to the mailroom and they're like, where are you? You're late. Get back to your shift. And he's like, but I'm the president. I don't care if you're the president. There's like all these great lines. And then you got the weird elevator operator, Buzz. Who's
Buzz. Oh my God. I love that guy though. He's great, but
he turns out to be a jerk.
Does he?
Yeah. Okay. So Buzz starts off real fun and happy when Tim Robbins is going up to deliver.
He had a reason to be a jerk, didn't he?
Well, let me explain. I mean, no, yes, but yeah, okay, okay, but still, okay. So Tim Robbins has to deliver a hated and dreaded blue letter that apparently is the most frightening thing you have to do is deliver the blue letter, right?
People see it and they scream.
They do. As soon as someone goes, there's a blue letter, everybody clears out in the mailroom, remember?
Yeah.
The poor Tim Robbins is like, what?
Yeah, what's that?
oh, by the way, you know who has a quick cameo in that movie in the mailroom? I don't know the actor's name, but you and your brother may know him as Pappy and Peppy from Bubble Boy, and my sister knows him as Blue from Old School.
Yeah, I know him as Blue from Old School as well.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I know.
That's great. Okay.
The reason I say that's because at my graduation, my sister yelled out, I kid you not, she yelled out, "You're my boy, Blue!"
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like our little joke. Yeah. But yeah, so Tim Robbins, he goes up there and he ends up, and the reason he's put as president, remember Paul Newman, they wanted, the stock, Hudsucker stock, because he didn't have any family, was going to go public and people could buy it. And he didn't want the plebes and the peasants, owning a part of their glorious empire. Yeah. So they decided they were going to tank the stock. So they had to install an imbecile, a patsy, a proxy.
A proxy.
Oh, very good. Yes. Which I thought was a hair cleaning thing, but it's not. No. That's install somebody as president, so they choose him. But back to Buzz real quick. So Buzz is like, as he's in the elevator, he's like, what's the most well-dressed street? It's Wearing Hudsucker, because his name was Wearing Hudsucker. He's making these terrible jokes. He goes, the street is liquefied. And so Buzz seems like the nicest guy. And then when normal, Tim Robbins, when he's the president and, he invents the hula hoop, which takes a while to catch fire, and then boom, everybody's playing with it, right? So he has an idea for the straw that bends, and he wants to call it the Buzz Sucker.
He puts up a circle too at first, though. It's the top-down view or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And so I think Tim Robbins fires him just because he's in a bad mood.
That and I think he wants to steal the idea from him.
Oh, does he really? Wait.
Well, didn't Buzz come back and say you stole it from me?
No, later he says he stole the hula hoop from him, which he obviously did not. That's why I said he was a jerk.
I don't know. I thought he wanted that idea because it was actually good, but
I mean,
he never does anything with it, so I guess
No.
Okay.
But Buzz gets fired and it's sad, but then Buzz is telling everyone he stole the hula hoop idea from him.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a jerk move, but it was his only gig in life. It's the only thing he had going for him. You know,
I get
it was
it.
his favorite thing.
I
He
get
was
it,
the
yeah.
fast talking elevator guy. You know.
And Buzz is played by the actor Jim True, that's one of the best names in the world.
I feel like I've seen this guy all my life, but maybe
Okay.
it's just this movie. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you where you've seen him. He's been in a couple movies in the 90s, okay? He's known to me before that as, I can't think of the actor's name now. One of my favorite movies that, I don't know if everybody else loves, Singles. It's a slice of love in Seattle fueled by the grunge music of 1992. Remember the movie Singles?
I know Singles.
Yeah. He plays, and I know the guy's name. It's on the top of my head. He's one of the stars. He plays his friend. And, dang it, what is that guy's name? Because he's got an unusual name. He's the one who gets with Kira Sedgwick. But I can't think of the actor's name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's one of the friends. So, and he's got this great line about how I live my life like a French movie. Everybody smokes cigarettes and everybody's cool. Or something like that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so he was in that. And then he was in this, I just think it's a horrible movie with Nick Nolte in it called Affliction. And
I haven't seen it. No.
Yeah, James Coburn won the Oscar for it, which I think he deserved. He was pretty evil and bad, but
bad movie.
Then he ends up spending like the last 20 or 30 years on a lot of TV roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've seen him. You've seen him in stuff with different haircuts because he had long hair in Singles. So that's why I didn't know that was him because he literally has a buzz cut.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh.
Yeah. So that's Buzz. Yeah. You know what's funny about this movie? Raimi and the Coen brothers wanted to actually, their first idea was Tim Robinson's character plummeting to his death from the building. That's how they started it. And then their idea was, how does he get there?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they kind of
it's a good movie. It's a solid, funny, quirky tale is what it is.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah,
it is a
and
quirky
with
tale.
Amazing music, amazing scenery, amazing,
Yeah. And I didn't think Charles Durning was going to have a single line of the movie because at the very beginning of the movie, like you said, he takes the flight out the window, doesn't say a word. But then as Tim Robbins, and by the way, as he's falling, Tim Robbins wasn't trying to commit suicide.
Yeah.
He got locked out by the evil janitor, Aloysius.
Evil janitor. Yeah, he was awful.
Yeah. I think he's like Bill Cobb's nemesis, kind of, because every time Tim Robbins comes up, he's always like cleaning the window or putting the name on it, and he's like, "Urgh."
Yeah.
So he locks him out and he falls down, and then time stops.
Yeah,
Literally.
he stops falling.
Yeah, and Charles Durning comes as an angel and explains to him that the blue letter was supposed to go to Musburger and said whoever gets this letter will be the president and blah, blah, blah.
Well, no, it's like whoever you nominate after me will be the president.
Yes,
and,
because
it'll
you've seen
probably
it more
you
than
if
me.
you're smart.
Yeah, and he wasn't.
So apparently it's some kind of binding agreement that he is the president here and forevermore, I guess.
And Musburger tries to commit suicide himself later after all this, and they don't let him.
Yeah. What does he do at the end though? Like, doesn't he like slip and fall out anyway or something?
No. Actually, it's funny you should say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say this movie is so good. There's so many. I can't even begin to tell you like all the good things that are in this movie.
Yeah.
Because the attention to detail and the little things the Coen brothers and Sam Raimi just throw in there. Like for instance, when Tim Robbins is in his office, like we saw in the little review.
Yeah.
He accidentally opens the window, and all of Paul Newman's important papers, the Bumstead papers, come flying out.
Yeah.
So Paul Newman goes after them and starts to fall out the window. Just like Hudsucker. So Tim Robbins grabs him. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No, I love this part. Keep going.
Okay, this part is great. That's one of the reasons I love the movie. And all of a sudden, it segues. Paul Newman's pants start to rip. He goes, "Your pants are ripping." Paul Newman's like, "Dang, the pants."
And he goes to a flashback.
Yes, of his tailor, who's like, "Oh, Mr. Musburger, I went to the double stitch." And he's like, "Single stitch is fine." He goes, "You're just trying to get rich, it'll pad your account." And so later, as it starts to rip, he's thinking, "I should have got the double stitch."
Yeah.
But then it shows the tailor.
It goes back to the tailor saying, "Oh, Mr. Musburger is such a nice man. I will give him the double stitch.
I do it for free, or I do it for no
so
extra
he
cost."
goes back and it stops ripping. He get pulled back up, and that's fine.
And there was no reason for that scene to happen, but it was wonderful. It was like this little attention to detail.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. They could have left some stuff out of the movie, maybe. Leave that in for sure, and some other stuff, of course.
It's also got some genius casting in tiny roles. You've got character actors like, do you know who Noble Willingham was?
I know the name, but I couldn't tell you.
He usually had a mustache, and I'm not proud that I know he's on the show, but he was one of the stars of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh,
as my mom will tell you. He played CD, but he was also in a lot of movies, and he always talked like this, like he was a big old Texas businessman,
Wow, okay.
He's in it. And out of nowhere, Peter Gallagher plays like a Frank Sinatra type crooner who's singing.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, at the part. That's Peter Gallagher.
Oh, cool. Okay,
I
should have
looked
recognized
and I'm
him.
like, is that Peter Gallagher? And I looked at the cast, it's like, that's Peter Gallagher.
Yeah, his eyebrows are unmistakable, aren't they?
They are the Gallagher brand, the Gallagher Caterpillars. It's true.
That's right.
Yeah, the cast is great. You've also got Steve Buscemi in a very tiny role as the bartender of a juice, and
I noticed that was delightful. He's like, "This is a juice bar, man."
Yeah,
alcohol.
and then again, like I said, the one-liners in this movie are great because Robbins goes, "Well, I've ordered what is it? Oh, I've ordered a martini at every bar I've been to before I got here."
Yeah, he's like, martinis are for wimps.
I know, like I said, the casting is so great. And you know who also has a very tiny part with thankfully no lines?
Who?
Miss Anna Nicole Smith. She plays Zaza.
She was playing Zaza Gabor or whatever.
Or maybe they just pronounce her as Zaza.
Right?
Was she supposed to be
I think that's
Zaza?
who was supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be,
maybe
right?
a play on it.
Yeah, and it just shows her for a quick second, but I was like, "Holy crap, that was Anna Nicole Smith!"
Yeah,
it's her first role. Yeah,
yeah, she was. It was, and then later that year, it was Naked Gun 33 1/3.
That's right.
Which she was funny in that movie. It was okay that she couldn't act. Did you know she won a Razzie for like worst supporting actress or worst? Yeah, for
I believe
Naked
it.
Gun. Yeah, and then she ends up being Buzz's girlfriend at the end.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I guess she does have a few lines there. Yeah. Buzz has got her then. Yeah. But yeah, the casting is genius. I mean, who else? There's so many other people in this movie. I mean, you got Jennifer Jason Leigh with her fast talking, as we talked about. And do you know she got that from Katharine Hepburn? She used Katharine Hepburn as a
I believe
influence.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
At some points I was like, okay, slow down a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yes. Everything she's saying is way quick. Let me tell you about my Pulitzer.
That's right. Yeah. She was just a girl from Muncie, though. Another girl from Muncie, Indiana.
She just happened to get that right. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a good movie. I'm glad we suggested it. Like I said, I never had a desire to see it. I knew it was out. And like you, I saw it at video stores. I saw Tim Robbins with a wild expression and a hula hoop.
Yeah. And you've got like, I guess Paul Newman on the right, and you've got her on the left. Jason Leigh. They're looking up serious. Yeah. It doesn't tell you what you're about to get into, really. I mean, it kind of does, but if you're not really paying attention to it, you're like, no, I'm going to pass on that. I can't even pronounce that title.
Duh.
If you can't pronounce it, don't watch it. Just
yeah. And if you try to pronounce it and you end up cussing, be careful.
That's right. Well, I'm ready to rate Shannon. Because
you ready to rate? Okay.
I'm all head-suckered out this week.
I got you, man. I got you.
Right.
One more thing. At the very end, he invents another circle fun thing. He invents the Frisbee.
That's right. He gets to throw it out the window.
All right. So, Hudsucker Proxy by the Coen brothers, co-written by Sam Raimi, who, if you didn't know, did the Spider-Man movies, the original, and of course some of my favorite movies, the Evil Dead movies. Sam Raimi's a genius. I love Sam
I've got a
Raimi.
trivia question for you, Shannon.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Originally, the hula hoop and the Frisbee.
Yes. Tell me
were
more.
products of this country. This company.
This country, Argentina.
No.
Oh, sorry, Canada. This company?
No. This
Hasbro.
company.
Hasbro.
No.
Play-Doh.
No.
Playboy?
No.
Playa.
Nope, you didn't.
Wait, one more time. Whammo.
Whammo. Oh, yeah. It was Whammo.
Oh, I was just kind of kidding.
Were you really? It was Whammo. No, that's good. Okay, you win. I have to give you all the doll hairs in my house.
Woohoo! I win the internet. Thank you.
You did. Very good. Yeah. All right.
Wasn't Whammo still making toys when we were kids, like a bat or something?
Yeah, it's been a long time. You haven't heard that name
No.
since then and before, for sure.
You have not. You've heard of Whammy?
I was going to say, you haven't heard of this in a long time. You probably would've got that.
Well, all right. Let us rate the Hudsucker Proxy, which I literally just saw this week for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So, and I got to say, I have more love and appreciation for Coen Brothers movies than I used to. I always thought, those are critical, movies that real people
Yeah, they're
don't
much
like.
better than that. And that's why they're such critical darlings. It's because they are that good.
Well, the funny thing is I remember loving Raising Arizona as a kid.
Yeah.
My mom rented it.
I didn't see it until later, but I loved it the moment I saw it. John Goodman, come on. And Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter and
All
Randall Tex Cobb is the biker bounty hunter.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Oh, you got to love Randall Tex Cobb. Just that name.
And the dad of the quintuplets, he's good too. He's
cannot remember his. Is it Barry Corbin from Northern Exposure and a whole bunch of other stuff?
Oh, okay.
Barry Corbin.
I saw Northern Exposure was on sale, the whole series or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna get it. It's still $39 for the digital, and I was like,
you probably get the DVDs cheaper.
That's more than the full Buffy series.
On digital? Hey, real quick before we rate, did you know that when they first released them on DVD, each DVD was in a little sleeping bag, or at least the first one was?
Of what? Of Northern
the
Exposure.
DVD.
I remembered that. Yeah. I loved that show, but I never really saw a lot of it.
Can I say something about that show real quick?
Yeah.
That I don't know if I've told you this, and I don't know if I've said this story over the air. Me and my mama had a special relationship. Every Monday night, we'd watch all the sitcoms on Monday night on CBS. We'd watch Murphy Brown, Evening Shade, Designing Women, and we'd end it with Northern Exposure.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes. And years later, my mom told me that after my mama died, she told my mom, she goes, I like Murphy Brown, and I love Designing Women and Evening Shade. I don't really like Northern Exposure, but I'm glad Shannon comes over.
Aww,
she didn't care what we were watching. That was our Monday night thing.
The main guy from Northern Exposure. What's his name?
Joe Morrow. Rob Morrow.
Yeah, I'd seen him in things much, much later, even recently, but didn't realize it was him because he looks so much different. He's so much older. I've seen him this whole time and just didn't realize.
He's been right under us, right under the radar.
Yes.
All right,
it can't be him.
Well, let's rate the Hudsucker Proxy, the hash-slinging slasher.
Proxy. I'm going to give it, Shannon. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to give it, and I'm going to give it to you now. I'm going to go ahead and give it, and I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to go ahead and give you the Hudsucker rating right now. It's going to be 4 of these out of 5. I did not rehearse that. That was really bad. I'm sorry.
It was great. It was great. Okay. I'm going to give it, I really, really liked it. I didn't think it was the greatest Coen Brothers movie. Like I said, I feel like, because I liked Burn After Reading, but I didn't love it. So I feel like it's one of those kind of like those fun ones they do just for them.
That's a part of Burn After Reading. I didn't watch it all.
Yeah. But the fact that they made this with Sam Raimi and that they made their version of an old classic, feel good Preston Sturges kind of movie, that makes me give it, I'm going to give it a 3.5 wearing Hudsuckers on the street out of 5.
I was hoping that was going to be yours.
Yeah.
That's good.
I thought last night, it's the wearing Hudsuckers. That's it.
Good.
It's worth seeing if you want to see it. It may not be the movie for you. Like I said, I can see how
it might be the movie for you.
It might be the movie for you.
I want to recommend it. Yeah. What did you give it? 3?
3.5.
Yeah. Okay, 3.5. Yeah. 3.5 sounds about right to me, but I'll still give it my 4.
For the pedigree, the casting and the pedigree of the people involved.
Absolutely, yeah. There's some great stuff in this for sure.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
All right.
The music.
Off we go.
Maybe the songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next segment. Next.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Part of the show.
Oh, go ahead and say it. Is this the part
where a dog dies right in front of us,
and we react to it? Scruffy, why? I closed the microwave really quick. Why'd you get in there?
Oh, God. I was talking about your singing, Shannon.
Oh, that's what Rocket says. Rocket what died in there?
This is the part of the show where we watch a dog die a puppy die in agony. Let's
AKA Shannon sings. So, yeah, this is the part pretty much where, now normally I try to do a theme song for our show, but I thought every now and then it might be fun to do a song that relates to the movie that describes
that.
So that's what I'm going to do. So,
Oh, dear.
Matt, what's that?
Oh, dear.
Oh, you should be afraid. Oh, the shame, Father. So here we go. I just want to know, like, do you feel a little sexy? Do you feel sexy, Matches?
Do I?
Do you feel too sexy?
Do I? Sometimes.
Okay. Well, I've got a little something to tell you.
And you want my butt.
Oh, no, it's not that. Are you ready?
Ah. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm the proxy, can't you see? The proxy, can't you see? At Hudsucker Industries. Boom, 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 boom. Brr, 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 brr. Brr, 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 brr. Here we go. I'm the proxy, I'm a dupe. The proxy and a dupe. I invented the hula hoop. I am the proxy for Paul Newman. The proxy for Paul Newman. I really like his dressing. I'm Tim Robbins, I'm fresh off the street, and I got a little job in the mailroom. But I'm the boss now at Hudsucker. Yeah, I think I'll get closer to the window. I'm the proxy, yes, that's true. The proxy, yes, that's me. Here comes Jennifer Jason Leigh. I'm the proxy, and I'm gone. Did I get the pot?
Not only did he get your pot.
Yeah? What else there, Slim?
I don't know. I got nothing.
I was all excited. I was like, Kentucky Fry Me.
It's cool. It's just a little too Hudsucker Proxy-ish to be our theme song. Sorry. A little too centric.
It's not right for us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
right for someone else. Try down the street. Okay.
Take that sucker down to Montgomery Ward.
That's right. All right. Next on the show.
Ooh, brought to you by Montgomery Ward, which I don't think exists anymore.
That's right. Special treat.
Ooh, brought to you by Circuit City, which also doesn't exist anymore.
Ooh, I love that.
Brought to you by Showbiz Pizza Place.
Oh, is there not a Showbiz left at all?
No, they morphed into Chuck E. Cheese. There is a whole history.
Right, yeah.
My son and his best friend, like 9 years ago, spent their whole time researching this.
Really?
Like, Dad, did you know it was Showbiz? I was like, yes, and there was a gorilla. Dad, there was a gorilla playing the piano.
It's true. I remember that. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
But now we have Charles Entertainment Cheese, and that's all we have. So
you gotta love it. Charles is the best.
Fine.
Yeah, we were there last night.
Well,
it's pretty
speaking
awesome.
of entertainment, Shannon, the next...
Well, I'm glad you said that. This is the part of the show where Matches and I... I think it's called the 1, 2, 3. Are you ready? Let's go, Lips. The video movie corner. Pick of the week. That's good. Video movie corner pick of the week. What happens here, Matches Malone?
Every week we pick a movie from the video movie corner down the street. This is the video movie corner pick of the week, where we pick a video from the movie corner down the street.
That's right, we do. It's a movie that maybe the Ebert and the Siskel brothers did not review, or maybe it was before them.
Could
Yeah,
be.
maybe it was after them. 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be after them.
9 times out of 10, yeah.
9 times out of 10. What? Do you want to go first?
No, Shannon, I don't want to go first. I want you to go first.
Oh, okay. I'll go first. I'm glad you asked. Okay. My movie is Fat Beach. No, it's not. My movie is Getting Even with Dad. No, it's not. My movie is actually a good movie, or I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
My movie is 2024. Was that last year? Yeah. Was the long-awaited sequel to one of my favorite movies of all time. I think one of your favorites too. The first movie was called, what's that?
Oppenheimer 2?
No,
Barbie
not
2.
Oppenheimer 2. Dying to Get Rich 2. Susan's planning more.
Money Pit 2.
No, Money Pit 2. Yes, please. John Carpenter's More Vampires. No, this is a sequel to one of my favorite
Vampires,
movies.
Mo Problems. Okay.
No, I love it. Vampires suck. That title's already been taken.
Yeah.
So this original movie was called Beetlejuice, and the sequel is Beetlejuice.
I don't know this one. Do tell.
The sequel? You've never heard of this independent film? So, Beetlejuice was the long-awaited sequel that you thought you'd never get to the classic original, directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder. and Catherine O'Hara, and we're not going to mention the dad. But Beetlejuice is a wonderful sequel that takes you years later as Lydia has become an adult and she has a daughter of her own, starring everyone's favorite new young scream queen, Miss Jenna Ortega. We all love Jenna Ortega, who got her start on the Disney Channel show Stuck in the Middle, which my daughter constantly forgets, but she would watch it before I took her to daycare every morning.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think she knew she was watching it. I think she was just like getting her clothes on and be like,
Oh, no.
yeah. But yeah, so Jenna Ortega is her daughter, Astrid. They're kind of estranged. Winona Ryder's husband has been long since deceased. And they all gather with what is Catherine O'Hara's character's name? I forgot. What is her? Is she Lydia? No.
No, Lydia's. I was going to say that, but
Lydia's
no, of course
Winona
not.
Ryder. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is her name?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Well,
I've gone blank.
see the
Literally
movie and
blank.
find out. So they gather with her because, unfortunately, Charles Dietz, the dad, played by, and I'm not going to mention his name because he's a
You
scumbag.
remember Charles Deed's name, but you can't remember.
I can't remember.
Blah.
Catherine Dietz? Catherine?
No,
No.
that's her real name.
Hunna. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So
Grandma.
He
Grandma
has
Dietz.
recently died, which is how they got over the fact that they didn't have to cast him.
Yeah.
He's recently died. Things are
Brilliant.
happening, and Winona Ryder is still haunted by memories and visions of Beetlejuice. And all this time, Beetlejuice has been doing good in the underworld. He's got his own little agency, He's got all the shrunk-head men that are working for him. And I don't want to spoil anything about the plot. But basically, in case you're wondering, they go assault on Beetlejuice. He's sort of the good guy in this movie, and then he's not. Like, you don't have to worry about him being the good guy. It's funny. It's a little bit darker than the original. The effects it's a little bit more hard PG-13. And I will say this. My mother-in-law, my wife, Rocket, Groot, and Rocket's friend, Makalaka, all enjoyed the movie until the end. They did not enjoy the end. I won't spoil it. I thought the ending was fine.
It's fine.
Maybe it could have been better.
I get it. I like the song a lot.
The movie? Oh, no. I'm talking about like the final literal 2-3 minutes of the movie.
Oh, I gotcha. I love that. I mean, it was brilliant. The effects were really great, I thought. And it was like, wow, that is bold. That's really bold.
Yeah, very.
Very
you may
bold.
not like the ending, or you may like me, and you may like the whole movie, or you may not like the movie. But
that's kind of like the credit scene, though. I was talking about the ending was very disappointing to me. They had all these characters.
You're talking about the big finale.
On their own adventures until they finally meet up at the end. And there are about 6 really, really brilliant parts in this movie. And that ending is one of them, I think. But they don't connect together the best. They're a little boring getting there, I feel. But yeah.
You know what they say?
It was still fun.
Disagree with your apples and oranges. You gotta.
It was still fun.
You gotta make money to spend money. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a very fun movie. It was worth the wait. Will we ever get a 3 Beetlejuice? I mean, if we do, that may actually bring him into real life.
Beetlejuice.
Don't say it. But Tim Burton has said there might be a 3rd one, but he'd probably be dead by the time that.
Yeah.
So in other words, he's in no hurry. He's in no hurry. I will say there were some nice new additions to the cast for this movie. There's the always wonderful Willem Dafoe, who plays a former actor who played a detective, and now in the underworld he is a detective, but he's still kind of acting. Monica Bellucci, who I think you guys told me is now with Tim Burton. The wonderful Monica Bellucci. Love her. Brotherhood of the Wolf, James Bond, Matrix, all kinds of great stuff.
Oh, that's right.
And I won't spoil it, but there was an awesome cameo by one of our favorite actors, and I won't say who it is because I want you to watch the movie. Oh. It's got some surprises. They took some, like you were saying, they took some choices that I didn't love. Took some things that I was like, I don't know about that.
But I think it's worth in between the big set pieces and stuff. I
think it's worth seeing. You can now see it on regular HBO and Max, or you can rent it or buy it on DVD and Blu-ray.
Oh, what's his name as her
Justin
fiancé?
Theroux is it?
Justin Theroux. Oh, he's so hateable in this movie.
Zip it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but
I'm not. No.
If you enjoyed the original as much as we did, and we're waiting for a sequel where he didn't go Hawaiian, I suggest you watch Beetlejuice. Tell me what you think. Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Right below, there's a comment section. Tell us if you like Beetlejuice, or if you thought it was pretty mid.
Ooh. Or sus.
Yeah.
Is that what the kids say? Or clinch. Cringe.
They don't say sus anymore, but I still do because it's great. Sus
I don't say it. I say Seuss because I want to honor Seuss from Gravity Falls. That's Seuss, dude. Hey, dudes.
Oh, Gravity Falls.
I once ate the bamboo. I was so hungry, dude.
I love Gravity Falls.
Yeah. Well, speaking of gravity, let's move it on down to you. Get your.
I mean, my pick this week is also Beetlejuice. So, I mean, that's what we did together. See, the thing is, I messed up. I've just realized while we were filming this, and we cut it out earlier, but I watched The Final Girl instead of The Final Girls, which was most likely recommended by most people on the internet.
It would be by me.
Oh man! And I realized while I was speaking that I messed up, and it just devolved, and I was like, wait, I didn't even like that movie.
This is comedy gold. I mean, you're not like, as you kept describing, you're like, it's not very good. Matter of fact, why did they make that choice? I feel this movie gets worse.
Yeah, those two actors deserve better.
Okay.
It was obviously the material and not them.
So, what is your actual video movie corner pick of the week?
It's Beetlejuice. Like, literally, we did it together. Yeah.
We did. That's 2 thumbs up for Beetlejuice.
We did it.
2 sandworms.
Yeah. I think it's good.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your favorite segment of the show. That's called... I'm going to do it like Beetlejuice. You ready? Hey, baby. All right, here we go. The video movie corner pick of the week. I won't do 2 shows tonight. I just won't. Hey, listen here, Matchstick Johnny. I got something for you. I got to be honest with you. Give me the skinny, okay? I want the level. I want the dope. I want the down low. Not the R. Kelly version, because that's in jail. I want you to tell me the truth. I want you to tell me the whole brown cow hey now. Listen to me. I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to be clear, and I'm going to be just like mud. I want you to know that I know you, that you know me, and I'm saying something. Hey, watch it, good time, Charlie. What are you, peeing on my leg and tell me it's rated? You better not. You stuff my foot, you make me taller? That's not going to work. What are you, Sally Jesse Raphael G. Jones? I don't think so. Listen, the time for talk is over. I got something I want to show you, and I think it's going to blow your little eyeballs. I need a little brain. Are you ready there, sport? Hey, Chachi, I'm talking to you.
Ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready. I got something I've been working on. A design. You're going to love it.
Oh.
For the kids.
Oh.
For the kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it yet. Wait, I got something else.
What do you call that thingamajabber?
I don't know. I think I call it the sit and think. The think tank. And then I got something else for the kids. What do you think?
I don't know what that is. There's a shadow on it. Is that?
Because Shannon doesn't know how to position his camera.
It's for kids?
It's for kids. You're going to love it. It's from Zeus himself. It's a lightning bolt.
Oh.
Kids are going to love it.
The lightning
Parents
bolt.
are going to hate it.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Yeah, we'll run a focus group.
See you in St. Louis, Screwy. Mm-hmm. Do you know how hard it is to talk like that? It is very exhausting.
It is, yeah. I just kept repeating myself over and over. And
well, you can do like that classic. There was this classic SNL bit where Chris Farley was apparently Lord Michaels. He kept leaning on this. I says to him, I says to him, I says, and Lord Michaels had told him like, let me do my Lord Michaels. Yeah, Chris, that's not really funny. Maybe you don't do that. And so Chris Farley on the news with Norm Macdonald, may they both rest in peace. He just kept going on and on. Like I says to the guy, I says to him, I says to him, Norm, I says to the guy, I says to him.
That's funny. There was a Simpsons episode where something else is going on with like Homer, and and he runs through the room where Bart and Lisa are having tea, and Bart goes, I says to Mabel, I says. And then like cuts off. I says to Mabel, I says.
Wasn't that kind of in the background, like a throwaway?
Yeah. Yeah. And then just continued on with the Homer story or whoever.
I hear The Simpsons is in a bit of a renaissance. Now, I haven't watched the show since 2002.
Okay.
I just stopped watching. And it's not that I didn't like it anymore. I just stopped watching, kind of like with Family Guy.
For a while, I didn't like it anymore. I know when Family Guy came out, they were trying to be more random and Family Guy humor. Just for a little bit there, yeah.
See, I thought The Simpsons got pretty random by the mid-90s, remember? They'd have like little throwaway gags.
Not like they started kind of copying Family Guy.
Oh, you mean like the whole
style.
Like the time that I was undercover as a vampire priest, that kind of thing, and then go to the joke. Yeah. I got you.
But they stopped, after that. But I was just kind of lost after that. I think, yeah.
Oh, Okay.
But they have had some good episodes, they say. Yeah.
I do remember after the 4th or 5th season, if you watched The Simpsons, you had to wait a good 5 minutes or 10 minutes before you knew what the episode was about. Because they would have these gags and this plot that went nowhere, and all of a sudden it'd be like, Homer gets a job at NASA. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd have to wait a little bit. Yeah. I will say one Family Guy gag that I enjoyed the last time I watched it, which was 2008 or 2009, was when they were making fun of, Fox. I think they still do this. I hated when channels advertise their shows on the bottom while you're watching the show. Because, yes, you can still see what's on the screen, but it's distracting. You're like, tell me later. Do a traditional ad.
Really?
So they would have a little scroll at the bottom, like, like whatever show was on at that time, like, my 3 dads, next week. So on Family Guy, they would have like these 2 guys like back to back, and it was called Opposites Sundays on Fox. And they were like, this guy. Yeah,
oh, wow.
And then they had these 5 friends that were pushed each other around slow, and it was called Punchin' Buddies Saturdays on Fox. And Stuart would be like, hello, what are you doing? We're doing the show. You're interrupting me right now. What? You're just going to... And then they had one called Slowly Rotating Black Guy, where it was a black man who was just slowly rotating.
Oh, wow.
360. He says that doesn't
I know
even
there
make
was a
any
classic
sense.
episode a few years ago, and I haven't seen it all. I've seen the clip and everybody praising it, but it's like they go to Lois's parents' house, the rich people's house.
Yeah, the Pewter
and I think he's upstairs. Oh gosh, what happens? Yeah, he's upstairs, and like the show comes on, and when that show comes on, Peter kind of blanks out and has sex with Lois, and so he was up there with his mother-in-law. And Lois goes, oh no, what time is it? Is the show on? And she's like, no! And she runs up the stairs, and apparently Peter has sex with his mother-in-law. And it was the most well-acted thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so good.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't like Family Guy. I'm just going to put that on record.
I liked it.
Hilarious at times.
Well, I will say this. It was kind of like The Simpsons. I just stopped watching it after a while. I was like, what else is on?
It's
Well, let
been
me ask you.
30, 40 years, Yeah,
at least 100.
Literally, yeah.
What TV show, before we get out of here, what TV show are you digging right now? Or what shows are you into? Like
Severance for sure. Severance is the bee's knees. It cannot quit. It is so good, and you need to continue watching it because you like by that last episode of the first season, we were screaming. We were. It was so exciting. It was such a cliffhanger. It was so amazing. And we had to wait 2.5 years for that stuff to come back. Now it's back, and it's just nailing it every episode. Yeah, Ben Stiller is a genius.
He co-created the show or created the show.
Yeah, well, he didn't write it, but he's directing every episode, and he's.
I feel like he's a driving force behind it, right?
Yeah, he's directing every episode. He's his production company is the one behind it. So
nice, yeah. That's what's bad about streaming and cable. You're like, I love this show. 5 years later, hey, second season.
Yeah,
you have to wait for. There's no set schedule. They're like, we're gonna do it when we want to do it on my time.
What is the White Lotus? I don't know.
You know what? I know people love that show. I just. I don't want to see rich people.
I haven't watched it yet. I hear it's great, but I love Mike White,
I think it's overrated. I'm just going to say that right now, but I don't enjoy everything that everybody enjoys, and I don't hate everything everybody hates.
That's fine. Yeah, I haven't even watched it yet, but I kind of want to. I don't know.
I watched the first season. I'm glad the world's finally recognizing the comedic genius of Jennifer Coolidge because of that show.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. You look like a hot dog. You look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Have you seen one of her MasterCard or whatever or Discover commercials where she gets the haircut? She got the 80s dude. She's like, I live in the now. Yeah.
She had Uber Eats before that, where she had like lipstick delivered and she's eating the lipstick.
Is it food Uber Eats? Well, real quick,
I'm so glad. Like Ariana Grande was completely responsible for her resurgence because of the thing she did on Jimmy Fallon, the impression she did of her.
I was going to say
she was in her video.
Okay, nice. Well, in the recent episode she hosted on Saturday Night Live back in October, She did this great sketch with Chloe Fineman, who is wonderful in Saturday Night Live, where they were both Jennifer Coolidge, and she was the mirror Jennifer Coolidge. And Ariana Grande did a better impression than Chloe Fineman did. And then all of a sudden, they open the three-way mirror, and there's Dana Carvey, and he's like, "Hey, I've been trapped in here forever."
Oh, wow.
Or other.
Okay, I gotta go back and watch that because I missed that completely.
That's one of my favorite shows from this season. It's so good.
Wow. Yeah, she's always been incredible. I love her.
Well, real quick, I'm liking the show St. Dennis Medical on NBC. Me and my wife are enjoying that. It is literally a combination of Scrubs and The Office. You've got your camera documentary show,
Really?
and you've got your funny, wacky hospital show. Yeah, it's a good show.
The Pit? It's called The Pit? No,
it's not called The Pit. It's called
Wiley?
Chicago Hope. Chicago Hope.
No, what was it called again?
St. Dennis Medical. It's got
St.
David Allen
Dennis
Greer.
Medical.
It's got the mom from the Goldbergs, Wendy McClendon Covey,
Wow.
or from Reno 911. It's got Allison Lohman, I think is her name, from the first season of Fargo and Krampus. And she is wonderful. She's adorable. And it's got some other people that I've never seen before, but they're great. I think it's from the people who did Superstore.
What? Is it on TBS?
It's on NBC. I don't know what day of the week it's on. You can also find it on the Peacock. But on NBC, it's a very funny show, and they don't follow them home. It all takes place at the hospital, and they're like filming a documentary, like The Office.
Yeah, I know you like to watch Ghosts. We've all been watching High Potential, and that's fun.
Yes, Ghost is one of my. I'm not gonna like Ghost is like my favorite show.
Yeah, people say the British one's better, but I don't care. I love this. Like I'll watch the British one any day. That's fine. But I love this. They're good.
If I'd seen the British version first, I might think differently.
Yeah.
But seeing it after, I'm like, oh, like they're not as likable.
Oh, really?
And maybe it's the British sense of humor.
Yeah, I like the characters. I like all the actors in this.
Ghost is great.
Fun.
Check it out.
It's so much fun.
We'll talk about Ghost in another show because I got a lot to say. It's a great show.
Yeah, we'll have the Ghost special. We'll have them on.
They're here right now. You just can't see them on camera. Hetty, Hetty, get a little further.
Hey,
okay.
Hetty, you're my favorite.
She wants to find some ghost cocaine. Thor!
Oh my God.
Thor! Uh-oh, Thor's here! Uh-oh!
Where's the
Trevor?
Scout leader.
Oh, you mean Pete? Pete's right here. Yeah, don't you hear him?
Okay.
And here's Alberta.
I hear her. It's like she's there.
I know. I walked through Flower, man. We better end the show
We
quick.
just go to a blank camera, and there they are.
Yeah, I know, right?
Asking questions and laugh. Oh, that's hilarious.
I will say one thing about Ghost that's awesome. The guy who plays the husband, Jay, he has the hardest job, the actor, because he has to literally act like nobody else is in the room except for the living characters. So he can't laugh. He can't react.
Yeah.
He's got to he's literally, and he's even commented about that in the show, the character. He's been like, you know what? I feel like a lot of me is asking a question and just pausing for 5 minutes and waiting. And that's exactly what it is.
That's funny. Yeah.
Well, speaking of funny, we hope you enjoyed our show. Sorry we rambled a little.
No,
Hudsucker Proxy.
Entertainment. If you're here, you love entertainment. And we are all about entertainment. I don't know if we are entertainment.
No, I think we are. I think we've entered the tainment and we're never leaving.
That's right. All right. Well, that was a good show.
I had a good time. Just tell them if they want to contact us. How do they hit us up? BF549?
Oh, no. You got to contact Sarah. Sarah, can you contact? Okay,
Hello, can I get Wista?
Nope.
How do you contact us?
Comment down below. And if you're watching us on Spotify, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, or even watching us and listening to us on YouTube, you can comment down below. We also have an email. Tell us what you want to see. If there's a movie between about 1986 and 2006 that you want us to cover, let us know. We need you to comment down below. It helps with the algorithm. It helps with our views and stuff like that. And we're struggling, and that's fine.
If there's a song you want me to parody with, if you want an original song melody for me.
Don't listen to that. Yep, there's another one in the bank. Let's go.
All right. Couldn't be better. Cut. Rolling. One more take. Thanks, guys, for watching. Bye, matches.
Bye.
I'll see you later. I got to catch the trolley.
Nom nom nom.
Nom, nom, nom.